Okay, today I'm going to show you how to use the binomial theorem to expand expression of the form x plus y to the n. As you can see, it's equal to this expression to the right using this formula. Okay, I'm going to explain to you in detail what those notations mean. Okay, take note that n is a positive integer. Okay, so let's look at the first example. Let's say we're expanding x plus y to the third power. Now, using the binomial theorem, it's a little longer compared to the shortcut I showed you on the part 1 of this binomial expansion concept. Now, this one is using the theorem that makes use of the combination concept. Okay, so we're going to start with the variables x and y. Okay, so for the x, we're going to start with the x cubed, and then x squared, x1, and then x0. Now for the y, we're gonna reverse the pattern. So for the y, you start with 0 all the way to 3. So y1, then y2, then y3. Now, the main use of the binomial theorem is to get the coefficients of these variables here. So we're gonna be looking for the coefficients of these variables. Now, because the sign is positive, we know that all of these terms are going to be positive. Now, the formula that we saw earlier, start with the n, and then the bottom number is 0. But that n is this exponent of our binomial. So instead of n, we're going to use 3 and 0 for that. Okay. So this n, which is equal to 3, will be the top numbers for all of these terms over here. We'll be using 3 for all of them. And then the bottom numbers, you're going to start with 0, and then all the way down to 3. Now, this notation is actually a combination formula. So it means combination of 3 taken 0. I am not going to explain the combination concept in this video. I will have a separate video for the combination concept. Okay. So right now, I'm going to show you the formula to find the combination of a number taken r at the time. So here you have combination of 3 taken 0 at the time. Now this one is combination of 3 taken 1. This is combination of 3 taken 2. This is combination of 3 taken 3. Now, two ways to calculate those combinations. One is using your graphing calculator. Most graphing calculators have the combination key, and you can be able to evaluate it very easily. Or we can do it by formula. So let's start with the combination of 3 taken 0. The combination of 3 taken 0 is going to be equal to 3 factorial. That's the number over here. Divided by the 0 factorial times the difference of this 3 and 0 factorial. Now 3 factorial means you multiply the 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? And then the 0 factorial by definition is a 1. So divided by 1 times, again, 3 minus 0 is a 3 factorial, which is 3 times 2 times 1. So as you can see, this is going to be simplified to 1. So our first coefficient is 1. Now this x cubed times y to the 0, we know y to the 0 is 1. So our first term is x cubed. Okay, plus combination of 3 taken 1. Okay, so what is combination of 3 taken 1? So we're going to change this number. Okay, so all the 0 will become 1 right here. Okay, combination of 3 taken 1. or it takes a little bit of time to erase this. Okay, so combination of 3 taken 1 is going to be equal to 3 factorial over 1 factorial times 3 minus 1 factorial. So that's 3 times 2 times 1 over 1 factorial is a 1. Now 3 minus 1 is a 2. So 2 factorial is 2 times 1. Now this is going to be reduced to 3. So the next coefficient is 3x squared y. Okay, what is combination of 3 taken 2? Okay, so go ahead and let's erase this one here. So combination of 3 taken 2 is going to be 3 factorial. 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1 over, okay, this is a 2 now, so over 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. Now 3 minus 2 is going to be 1 factorial, which is just 1. Okay, so again, this is going to be reduced to 3. So this is equal to 3. And then bring down that xy squared. Okay, so let's go to the last coefficient, which is combination of 3 taken 3. Okay, so let me erase this. Okay, so what is combination of 3 taken 3? Let me change this number now to 3. Okay, so this 2 is now going to be a 3. Okay, so combination of 3 taken 3 is going to be 3 factorial over 3 factorial times 3 minus 3 factorial. Now 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1 over, now again, this 3 factorial here is 3 times 2 times 1. Now 3 minus 3 is a 0 factorial, which is again by definition equal to 1. Okay, so this is just going to be reduced to 1. 1, now x to the 0 is also equal to 1. So that's 1 times 1 and then y cubed. Okay, so our final answer will be x cubed plus 3x squared y plus 3x y squared plus y cubed. Okay, so that's for our x plus y to the third. Okay, let's look at the last example. Say x plus y to the fourth. X plus y to the fourth. So we're going to start with, again, x to the fourth, then x cubed, x squared, x1, and then x0. Now for the y, you start with exponent 0, y1, y2, y3, y4. Okay, so now let's find the coefficients of each variables here. So again, since our exponent is 4, all the top numbers will be 4. And then the bottom numbers, you're going to start with 0 all the way to 4. Okay? And this means you do 4 factorial over, okay, 0 factorial multiplied by 4 minus 0 factorial, which is just 4, okay? So that's 4 minus 0 factorial. Let me clean this. It's 4 minus 0 factorial. Now, 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over, now 0 factorial by definition is 1. Now 4 minus 0 factorial is also 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So all of this will be reduced to 1. Okay, so for our first coefficient is going to be equal to 1. Okay, so let me erase this part over here. So we got 1 for our first coefficient. Okay, so this is going to be 1, x to the 4th. Now y to the 0 is also 1, okay? Plus, what about this combination of 4 taken 1? So this is a 4 factorial over, okay, 1 factorial multiplied by 4 minus 1 factorial. So that will be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 1 factorial is a 1 times 4 minus 1 is 3 factorial. So that's 3 times 2 times 1. And that will be reduced to 4. Okay. So combination of 4 taken 1 is going to be equal to 4. Right. So let me clear this. Okay. So this is going to be 4. One second. This is going to be 4 x cubed y. Okay, what about this combination of 4 taken 2? So this is 4 factorial over 2 factorial times 4 minus 2 factorial, which is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over, okay, 2 factorial is 2 times 1. And then 4 minus 2 is 2 factorial, which is again 2 times 1. So that will be reduced to 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, so our coefficient for the third term is going to be 6. All right, so let me clean this. All right, so it's going to be 6 over here. X squared, y squared. Okay, what about combination of 4 taken 3? So that's 4 factorial over 3 factorial times 4 minus 3 factorial, which is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 3 factorial, which is 3 times 2 times 1. Now 4 minus 3 is 1 factorial, which is just 1. Okay, so that will be equal to 4. So let me clear this. All right, so that's gonna be 4. So this is equal to 4 over here. X, y cubed. Okay, now there's also a symmetry here. So the first and the last coefficients, we expect them to be the same number. So it's gonna be 1 over here. I'll show you how you get the 1. And this 4 is gonna be equal to that 4. And our middle coefficient is 6. So to get the 4 factorial over okay, over this 4 factorial times the 4 minus 4 factorial. So that 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over the 4 factorial, which is another 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the 4 minus 4 is a 0 factorial, which is also 1. So we know that this will be reduced to just 1. Okay. So our last coefficient will be 1, x to the 0 is 1, and then y to the 4th. Okay, so that will be the expansion for our x plus y to the 4th. Okay, I hope you learned something from this video, and I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you.